Have you ever picked up an old coin and wondered where it came from, or what stories it could tell? Every coin is like a tiny time machine, a piece of metal carrying decades of history, art, and mystery. And among America's most loved coins, the Kennedy half-dollar stands out as a true legend. It's not just money. It's a tribute to one of the most admired presidents in U.S. history, John F. Kennedy. In today's video, we're diving deep into two fascinating years, 1971 and 1989, to uncover the hidden details, values, and secrets behind these iconic coins. So, make sure to stay till the end, because you might be surprised how much history can fit into just half a dollar. Both may look similar at first glance. The same famous profile of JFK, the same proud lettering of liberty, and the words, "In God We Trust." But behind these designs lies a story of change, from silver to copper, from collector's treasure to modern curiosity. So sit back, relax, and let's travel back to the year 1971, a year that forever changed the Kennedy half-dollar series. When 1971 began, the United States Mint was facing a major transformation. Just a few years earlier, the Kennedy half-dollar had been struck in 40% silver, a beautiful, shiny coin that felt solid and heavy in your hand. But silver prices were rising fast, and the government decided it was time to make a big change. That's why 1971 became the very first year the Kennedy half-dollar was struck without any silver at all. Instead, the mint used a copper-nickel clad composition, a sandwich of copper core and nickel coating. This change made the coin more affordable to produce, but it also marked the end of an era for silver coinage in everyday circulation. The obverse of the coin, or the head side, still features the profile of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His portrait captures the calm determination that defined his leadership. Below his neck, you'll see the year 1971, and above it, the proud word liberty spreads across the rim. To the left and right of his face, the famous motto reads, "In God We Trust." Flip the coin over, and you'll see one of the most detailed reverses ever designed by the U.S. Mint. Sculpted by Frank Gasparo, it shows the presidential seal, a majestic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, surrounded by 50 tiny stars. It's a design that perfectly symbolizes both peace and strength. Now, here's something collectors love to know. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia had no mint mark, those from Denver had a small d, and San Francisco struck special proof coins marked with an S. In total, over 457 million coins were made that year, a massive number. But despite being so common, certain varieties can be worth more than you might think. For example, rare minting errors, such as a 1971 D coin struck on a leftover 40% silver planchet, are highly sought after. These errors happened when old silver blanks from 1970 accidentally got mixed in during production. If you find one of those, you're holding a coin that could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Even a regular 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in mint condition can fetch a nice price for collectors, especially if it has deep luster and clean surfaces. Graded examples, especially proof-like strikes, can sell for $20 to $50 or more depending on their quality. But what makes this coin truly special isn't just its material or market value. It's what it represents, the first full step into a new era of American coinage. 1971 marked the beginning of modern coins, durable, practical, and accessible for everyone. It's a symbol of how history adapts, just like the nation it serves. Imagine this. You hold a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in your hand. It may not shine like silver anymore, but it carries the legacy of change, of memory, and of respect for a fallen president whose dream continues to inspire generations. And that's why collectors, historians, and everyday Americans still admire this coin today. It's not just a half-dollar, it's a story frozen in time. As we move ahead to the year 1989, nearly 2 decades have passed since the first copper-nickel Kennedy half-dollar was introduced. By now, the coin had already become a familiar piece of American currency, a coin that carried history in its design and pride in its symbolism. But 1989 marked a time when the Kennedy half-dollar quietly began to fade from everyday use, while growing stronger as a collector's favorite. In 1989, the United States was changing fast. The Cold War was coming to an end, technology was beginning to boom, and the world was entering a new modern era. Yet even in that fast-moving time, the Kennedy half-dollar continued to remind people of an important chapter in American memory, the legacy of President John F. Kennedy. Just like the earlier versions, the 1989 Kennedy half-dollar features the elegant profile of JFK on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The design remained timeless, his calm gaze facing left, the inscription Liberty arching around the top, and the national motto, "In God We Trust," proudly stamped beside his portrait. Beneath his neck lies the year 1989, a quiet but powerful mark connecting the coin to the end of the 1980s. Turn it over, and you'll again see the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparo, an eagle holding an olive branch of peace and arrows of defense, surrounded by a ring of stars. It's a design that still feels as patriotic and noble as the day it was first struck in 1964. Now, here's where things get interesting. By 1989, very few Kennedy half-dollars were being used in daily transactions. Most Americans rarely saw them in pocket change. The U.S. Mint kept producing them, but mainly for collectors, coin rolls, and special mint sets. People loved the design, but they didn't really spend them. This made the 1989 Kennedy half-dollar one of those coins that feels both modern and nostalgic at the same time. The 1989 coins were minted at two main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins with no mint mark came from Philadelphia, while those with a small d under Kennedy's neck were from Denver. In total, more than 46 million coins were struck that year, a fraction compared to the massive mintage numbers of the early 1970s. And for collectors, condition matters a lot. A circulated 1989 Kennedy half-dollar usually has only face value, around 50 cents. But if you find a coin in brilliant uncirculated or proof-like condition, especially one for mint sets, the value can jump. Some high-grade examples, professionally graded as MS 66 or MS 67, can sell for $30 to $100 or more, depending on the market. Proof coins from 1989, struck at the San Francisco Mint with the S mark, are especially prized. These coins were never meant for circulation. They were carefully polished, double-struck on special dies, and packaged in collector cases. Their mirror-like surfaces and razor-sharp details make them sparkle under light, a true showpiece for any Kennedy collection. Another fascinating aspect of the 1989 issue is its place in the timeline of American coinage. It sits between the vintage silver-era nostalgia of the 1970s and the digital-age designs of the 1990s. It's a bridge between old and new, a reminder of how tradition and technology evolved side by side. Collectors also love to hunt for errors and varieties from 1989. Some examples show minor misstrikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks that add uniqueness and value. While most are small and subtle, error enthusiasts always check carefully, because even a tiny flaw can turn an ordinary coin into a special discovery. Beyond its monetary value, though, the 1989 Kennedy half-dollar holds emotional worth. For many people who grew up in that decade, this coin was a symbol of pride, memory, and respect. It was often kept as a keepsake, handed down from parents or grandparents, a silent connection to American history. The copper-nickel sheen may not carry the brilliance of silver, but the meaning behind it never faded. It represents endurance, a coin that continued to be minted year after year, through wars, recessions, and new generations. Think about it. From 1971's bold step away from silver to the sleek 1989 issue, the Kennedy half-dollar had become more than just money. It had become a timeless emblem, a small tribute to leadership, hope, and national unity. Even today, collectors and historians cherish the 1989 Kennedy half-dollar, not because it's rare, but because it's real. It's part of America's living story, a piece of history you can hold in your hand. So, if you ever come across a 1989 Kennedy half-dollar, don't overlook it. Take a moment to appreciate its journey, from the mint presses to your palm, carrying decades of history, respect, and remembrance. And that brings us to the end of our journey through two amazing coins, the 1971 and 1989 Kennedy half dollars. Each one tells a story of change, honor, and endurance, from silver beginnings to modern legacy. If you enjoyed learning about these coins, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with fellow collectors and history lovers. Because sometimes the smallest things, like a half-dollar coin, carry the biggest stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.